up, beautiful people? This is Pretty Girl Love Trap content.
Hello, everybody. I know there's still people out there that haven't subscribed. So, subscribe. You heard me. Subscribe to Auntie's channel, Pretty Girl Love Travel Content.
What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? How are you guys doing tonight? Okay, y'all. I never do this. I thought I set the live for 9:15. I'm over here just doing other stuff. So I sincerely apologize for that scheduling mishap. Okay, your girl normally is on point, but I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna blame it on a time change. Okay, I'm gonna blame it on the time change. Okay, let's see here, y'all. Let me get my life together. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Good, I hope. What's up, Daria, Kendall? How are y'all doing tonight? I hope y'all doing well, okay? We're going to get into Atlanta, okay? Shout out to Medea, okay? Atlanta season 4, okay? The final season and the finale is tonight. I'm just going to brace myself for what they give tonight because knowing what them writers over there, who knows? Definitely some closure, I hope. We got a good amount of closure the past few episodes, so I'm not going to be too upset, but just a little bit of closure, all right? And y'all, please just make sure you're doing all the things for your girl. Please make sure you're liking this video, subscribing if you're not a subscriber already, okay? Because we be lit up in here in the trap, okay? Even though it's the trap, we got manners. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, commenting, doing all of the things for your girl, okay? Oh, guys, you enjoyed episode 9, Kendall? Yes. Kendall, you had spin class, girl. Woo. Bless your heart. I did spin class one time. And I would have, and I got through, it was like 30 minutes. And I would have got through it more if there was some cushion on those bicycle seats. I'm just saying, can a girl get a little cushion? You know, I got some cushion already that God gave me, okay? But I need some cushion on the seat. I would have been there for an hour if they had some cushion on the seats for the spin class, all right? All right, well, let's get into it, you guys. All right. So let's start off with episode 7. And I'm not going to do a full detailed recap. It's low-key like a reaction video. And just, you know, what I took away from each episode. And y'all chime in. I'm going to have y'all rate each episode once we close each one out. But I'm trying to, you know, get y'all out of here in a timely manner, okay? So, episode 7, Snipe Hunt, okay? So, we in the woods, y'all. And I'm like, so y'all gonna stress me out today. When I saw this, I'm like, oh, y'all gonna stress me out because we in the woods. Okay, let's do this. So we got the whole family, okay? We got Ern, we got Vanessa and Lottie. We taking a little camping trip, okay? It is Lottie's birthday, all right? She's turning 6, and they're doing everything but turning up, apparently, okay? So she seemed like, you know, she not really feeling it, but she's just going with the flow. But I'm like, did Lottie request this? You know what I'm saying? Was this her idea? I don't think so. Like, I'm pretty sure she wanted to have, you know, a frozen party or whatever the 6-year-old girls be into instead of being in some woods, okay? Like, I'm sure she could have dealt with that, okay? And then, we have Ern over there, and you already know we not doing much of the research. Apparently, Ern got a tent for 50, 11 people, and it's only the three of them. And Vanessa had enough sense to tell him, like, bruh, yeah, that's not really smart because we gonna need to keep our, selves insulated. And that big behind tent and three people were really 2.5 people. That ain't really right, bruh. But he said, I got the black card or whatever. I'm gonna swipe away at REI and I'm not tripping. All right. So, this whole episode, they're pretty much doing a lot of bonding, okay? We over there having conversation. We over there cooking. Like, this is a real life camping experience. It's not glamping by any means, all right? And, we setting up the tent. And y'all, when this scene appeared, I'm like, oh, they're gonna do something to Lottie. Like, my blood pressure was on 1,000 the entire episode. Like, I'm like, okay, what is going to happen? Just give it to me. Like, I can't deal with the suspense. Lottie is getting way too close to the water. Ern and Vanessa are a little too far. Like, I don't know. Like, I get very paranoid, and parenting makes you paranoid. So I was annoyed. I'm like, why is she so far away from y'all? Yeah, it's just three of y'all in the woods. Like, what's up? Why is she allowed to be within inches of the water without a warning? Like, they were just real chill. Like they some regular old country, but like, no, y'all from Atlanta. Y'all from the low key city, all right? Even though Atlanta, is kind of rural and some, well, not really Atlanta, but the outskirts. But I was stressed out. It was plenty of situations where they were just talking and Lottie was nowhere in sight. I'm like, what's going on, bro? Who's going to snatch this little girl up? Like, what animal, what human? Like, I was just waiting. I'm waiting for the disaster to happen because y'all playing in my face. I was so annoyed and stressed out. I'm like, why are y'all doing this to me? I just want to have a good time. I'm not trying to be stressed out for the 38 minutes or whatever have you this episode was. Kendall, you say you thought Lottie might get kidnapped or something, especially during this night. But yeah, I'm like, y'all stressing me the hell out right now, okay? But with the conversation that Ern and Vanessa is having, it's not too deep, but they're getting to know each other just a little bit more. We discovered that Vanessa wasn't a Girl Scout, so she knew a little something about the woods. Okay, I'm like, well, I was in the Girl Scouts, but I also was in Harlem, so we didn't really do all that. All I remember is going into a dark room with my brownies uniform and signing up to sell cookies. Like, I honestly don't remember no activities that we used to do. Like, I don't remember nothing. But it's good to know that Vanessa is taking some of her experience and applying it to this trip, okay? So, Lottie, she over there just trying to pass the time because she in the darn wood. She could have been in a fairy princess dress having all the fun with her friends, but she out here with her parents doing nothing. But I digress, okay? Maybe I wouldn't have been as annoyed if this was like a regular family trip, but this her birthday. Like, I'm sure Lottie did not ask for this. Like, y'all giving her a hard time. She couldn't be a famous actress with Tyler Perry a couple episodes ago. Like, I'm sure she's still salty about that. And y'all over here giving her a woods party situation, which y'all, and even her mood was hella off. She's like, dang, at least it would have been more lit if grandma and grandpa was here. Like, what's up? And I'm sure she's pretty close with her because we can't forget that Vanessa was overseas in Paris doing big things with bread, hard bread. And, her parents, her French boyfriend or what have you. So Lottie is probably, more in tune with her grandparents anyway. And Ern was over there overseas. So both her parents was overseas for X amount of months. So I can imagine, yeah, you miss grandma and grandpa because you low-key, I don't say she didn't know these people because these, her parents, but she got a great rapport with her grandparents, I'm sure. Okay. Oh, yes, Kendall. That was probably my favorite, the Tyler Perry episode. Probably definitely one of my favorites. So, throughout this whole day, Ern is kind of pretty much hinting and asking Vanessa kind of to discuss the whole California situation because we know he got a job offer. He wants them to come with, but she's like, I don't know. And, he was asking her, what it is about Atlanta. What's so special about Atlanta? She was like, well, I just don't want to uproot my entire life. Like, bruh. So I like this situation here. I may be looking into it too deep, but they have a situation where they had to go from one side to the other. So they pretty much have like a log or a situation where they can cross this little raging river situation. But Vanessa was like, I don't trust it. Lottie's too young. She may get, you know, drafted somewhere like in this water, like it's too high. It was raging a little too much, and I agreed. And it just kind of to me symbolized that that Vanessa is pretty much more cautious, more thoughtful when it comes to certain things, which is different than Ern. Ern just trying to go for it. And it kind of to me, symbolizes how Vanessa is a little more strategic. All right. Kendall, yes, that French baguette was beating. That was a hot mess. That hard bread. Okay. So pretty much the snipe hunt, which is the title of the episode, is something that apparently Vanessa used to do when she was in the Girl Scouts. And I wasn't quite sure what a snipe was. I'm sorry, y'all. I know what other things are, but I don't know what a snipe is. I was thinking it was kind of like a snake situation. So she has Lottie pretty much setting up a trap for a whole snipe situation. And her and Ern are in a pitch black dark, at least 10 to 12 yards away. And I'm like, where's Jordan Peele? Where's Jordan Peele? Where's Steven Spielberg? Like, y'all playing with me. Is this a scary movie? Like, what's up? Like, I'm frustrated, okay? She is way too far in the dark for my likings, okay? But they over there trying to have a grown person's conversation. Lottie over there way too far for my comfort zone. And apparently she catches a whole snipe. And Vanessa, I couldn't tell if, like it was really a snipe or what, but apparently she caught something. They kind of instruct her to kind of put the bag down and run to that. I was like, that's what y'all get. That's what y'all get for playing around in these people woods, okay, with the people animals, okay? We don't do that. Hey, HEA, what's up? You didn't watch this one? Oh, you didn't watch any of the episodes? I'm going through all three, but if I'll try to put timestamps after I'm done to kind of keep track of, when each episode starts. But thank you for coming through. Make sure you like the video, boo, okay? Kendall, you said, what's up with all that water? Was it symbolizing emotions? I'm not sure if let's see here. I probably did cover it right before. I'm not sure if I covered what I thought before or after this comment, but I pretty much feel like the water symbolizes their approach to certain situations and how they differ, which comes into play, of course, towards the end of the episode. But yes, yeah. It was a hot mess, okay? So it's bedtime, okay? And Lottie already discussed that she don't want daddy in the tent. I'm like, baby girl, you see this receipt here? The receipt is proof that I'm gonna sit my black behind up in this tent. Ern is way too nice for me. I mean, I guess it's these new parents, okay? But the parents from the 80s and the 90s would be like, girl, if you don't scooch over, scooch over somewhere, okay? Because, yeah, this credit situation that shows I paid X amount of dollars for this tent, yeah, I'm up in here with y'all. Stop playing with me, little girl. HGA, I got you. Trappist Lights. I never watched the entire series. Oh, well, thank you for stopping through. I truly appreciate you come seeing your girl. I appreciate it. I really do. So, y'all, this scene right here, I was all up in my emotions. I'm just like, y'all, this is what I've I've been wanting. Okay, so Ern and Vanessa, they can't sleep or what have you. Well, Ern, he was over there, teeth was shattering, okay? Like the little fake teeth we be seeing at Halloween. Yeah, his teeth was shattering because he was cold outside. So Vanessa allowed him to come in. Lottie is asleep, okay? And they proceed to talk about California and her decision if she's trying to go or not. And long story short, she was like, I'm just not trying to be over there just as your crutch boy. Like, what I'll be doing there? Like, I know you only see me as Lottie's mom. Like, what is the point? Okay. And so he was like, girl, are you serious right now? Girl, I'm in love with you. I love you, girl. Like, ever since we had that rendezvous overseas, I would believe it was possibly Amsterdam. Like, I can't stop thinking about you. I've always loved you more than just as Lottie's mom. So she was just like, ooh, for real though. And of course, pretty much paraphrasing. But he pretty much professed his love for Vanessa. Okay, because way back when she was trying to get right with Ern, but Ern was kind of in the way. And I think that's part of him just really being lost. Now he's more in a situation where I feel like he knows himself a little more. He's financially stable, he has a career. So normally and typically when men have those things in place, they're ready to start a family and start that chapter of their life, even though they started a family already. But he's pretty much looking like he's trying to solidify Vanessa's place in his life, which I appreciate, because we have plenty of men up in here that don't be having their ish together and they be making the babies and having the women's going crazy. Okay. So I appreciate, it took him a journey, and love is a journey. Everything's a journey. But I still love it nonetheless. Not saying you got to have a perfect life to find love and be in a relationship. I'm not saying that at all. But sometimes I do feel like some of the stress that comes in certain relationships on the male's part is because they're frustrated, because they're possibly a little lost or don't know who they are, or just, insecure about where they are in life. But I definitely appreciate that they was able to give us this closure between Ern and Vanessa, because they're like low-key like a quirky couple match made in heaven. Like, I don't see Ern with anybody else. I don't see Vanessa with anybody else. Like, they're a little perfect little family, so they're gonna be in California. Outside of Atlanta, mind you. Outside of Atlanta. All right. So I definitely appreciated this story. I loved it. We woke up the next morning, it was raining, it was kind of dreary, and they decided to just leave everybody there because we got money. Okay. We could get a new one of these. Okay. I'm like, well, do we need to be going camping again? Like, I don't think we know. California got enough mountain lions to cover everything, okay? And the coyotes in California ain't nothing to play with, okay? Ain't nothing to play with, okay? Because I've had situations where I had an Airbnb in California, and the owner of the Airbnb was like, you need to be careful because the coyotes be coyoteing over there, okay? Especially in the hills. I mean, I ain't trying to flex, but we was in the Hollywood Hills, and it be coyotes. And we did hear some, but we didn't see any. Thank God, okay? Because we made sure when we got out that vehicle and into the house, we weren't lollygagging, okay? We weren't lollygagging at all. Oh, gosh. Kendall, Ern, and Van definitely deserve each other. Yes, they just like a perfect little couple. I love it. The Sade music was a nice touch. Yes, it was so relaxing and calming. I'm like, dang, I need to go to a spa or something. Like, I'm really on the calm vibes of it all, okay? Because we about to really be on the hot mess of the Christmas season, which I love. But, we be getting all the gifts and everything together. So I definitely need some zen before this season, okay? Because your girl, I love me a good holiday situation, okay? But that was pretty much episode 7, Snipe Hunt. So let me know in the chat, and also let me know in the comments if you're watching the replay, what is your rating for episode 7? I'm going to give it a B, mainly because it's weird. Like, if we didn't have that ending with the closure with Van and Ern, I would have probably considered this a filler episode, honestly. Like it was a lot of like dead air and dead space. We over there canoeing. There's a lot of crickets, and it was a lot of slow pacing, which I don't completely mind. But yeah, it was a lot of like things. I'm like, okay, what is the point here? What is the point? So I feel like the ending pretty much saved the episode for me, but I appreciate the closure because sometimes these writers don't be wanting to give us happy endings. Okay, I understand this ain't a fairy tale world, but sometimes happy endings do happen. All right, Kendall, you said you didn't like being in the woods. I mean, yeah, it stressed me out, and that's part of the other reason too. It stressed me out for a good 26 minutes, and I don't appreciate that. Okay, the blood pressure was pressuring. All right, but yes, I'm gonna give episode 7 a B. And y'all, let me write this time down so I'll know what time the review ended for that. So hold on. All right. So the goof that sat who sat by the door, y'all, they played in my entire face with this entire episode. Like when I realized that this wasn't a real story, I felt dumb. I'm like, just throw my degree away, just throw all of my education, all of my life experience away because they got me, okay? Y'all got me and I didn't appreciate it, okay? But y'all, this is one of my favorite. I don't know, between this and the Tyler Perry, I think the Tyler Perry is probably my top favorite. But this was probably my second favorite. Yes, Kendall, perfect. The mockumentary was very interesting. Okay. So, long story short, we start off, you know, much like a documentary. Okay, we have a little warning at the beginning. Well, not a warning, more like a disclaimer. BAN network. And I feel like that they had that before in a previous season. But they pretty much was giving a disclaimer, that some things, may not be as factual, blah blah blah. And this by no way is reflecting upon Walt Disney. So I'm like, okay, this is about to be some Disney-ish, okay? So we start, seeing these interviews, these first accounts. We have a journalist here. She looks very credible. So I'm like, okay, we're about to get in some realness. And, we have, this article, Disney names first Black movie and TV head. So I'm like, okay, so we're discussing Disney's first Black movie and TV head. So I'm like, oh, they about to educate your girl up in here, okay? Because I wasn't even aware of this. All right. So I'm like, cool. So, of course, we're going through the journey of the storytelling about how this became to be, okay? And so we get into the life of Mr. Thomas, okay? Thomas Washington. So we are going through this young African American boy who had a pretty decent upbringing, two-parent household, but he kind of struggled with, feeling a sense of belonging and Blackness. And I honestly feel like this is possibly, I can't speak for this man, but I feel possibly that, Donald Glover, this possibly could be talking about him, because I remember in last season, I can't remember the name of the episode, but it was when Paperboy's phone was stolen by Socks. And the original person that they thought that stole the phone, he kind of was like, eerily given Earn and Paperboy information. And he kind of was talking to Earn, pretty much saying, you felt like you never belonged, and, that, you felt, that you was different because you talked properly, and, how they say, acting white, which that can be a troubling saying, because I hate that we equate acting white, to being proper when it comes to the Black community. Like it's a little frustrating. I understand the context, but sometimes it's frustrating because it's like, it's not acting white, it's just being proper. But we're discussing Thomas, and we have accounts from his cousin, and then we're discussing how he got into SCAD, which is actually a real school in Savannah, Georgia. It's a design school because Thomas always dreamed to be an animator. I apologize. And he submitted this little clip called The Little Prince, and it's really an animated version of Prince singing, and it was a little different. Okay, so this pretty much got him into Disney as an animator through a diversity program. Okay, so he over there drawing the things, child, being an animator, minding his entire business, okay? And so during this time, there's an uprising, of course, because they doing what they do. And the whole Rodney King situation happened. So there's rioting. And so, Thomas's mother is, recanting conversations she had with him, stating that I just want to go out there with the people. I want to riot, blah, blah, blah. She was like, no, what you gonna do, baby, is fight with them coloring books and pencils or whatever you doing over there, because she knew her baby wasn't about that life. She knew. She knew. But y'all, when the mom said she named her son after Tom Jones, I was like, what in the Fresh Prince Carlton Banks is going on here? Not Tom Jones. Like, bruh, it was taking me out. But at this point, I'm still not getting. I'm still not getting that they playing in our face. Okay, I'm still riding with it. Okay, so the Disney at this time is experiencing so much success. I believe the Little Mermaid, I believe Lion King, kind of put them in a great level in the entertainment field. So the CEO at the time took a little sabbatical. Okay, I guess he was like, I want to go ahead and chill somewhere. So he appointed a replacement. So the replacement got sick. Okay, so they had to appoint another person. All right. So their intention was to appoint Tom Washington. Okay, but they didn't realize the Tom that they wanted. His real first name was Thompson. So by default, Thomas, the black animator, became well, they voted him in, and thereby he became the CEO. And so y'all see the picture up here. Like, the white people was upset. Okay. They tried to kind of, fix it, change it, tweak it a little bit, but they had a lot of eyes on them. We had the Rodney King situation. It was a lot. So they wasn't trying to ruffle any feathers. I'm pretty sure they was trying to tell, our boy Tom, like, we kind of made a little mistake. So I'm pretty sure, if this was a real story, they probably would have, handed him a little check, you know what I'm saying? A little situation to keep him quiet and be like, all right, we gonna find our real person. All right. But nah, it was like Tom was not letting up, and he decided to stay in a position. So it was up to the set. Okay. Hey, Kendall, you said that's what I said. What Tom Jones? Exactly. Like, come on, Carlton. Oh my God, it was hilarious to me. Because my mom was saying, like, we would typically name, and, name our children after, the fathers or what have you. But she was like, that's when we knew our baby was going to be different, because we was naming him after Tom Jones. And it's funny because we're talking about blackness and race, and we have this black guy named Tom. But I digress, okay? So now Tom is the CEO, okay? So he wants to make a difference, long story short. He's a father now, he's a husband. And of course, we have interviews from the son and the wife. So I'm really still not getting this is fake, y'all. So, he said he want to kind of make something different. And he was set out to make the blackest movie ever, okay? And it's going to be based on Goofy, okay? Because they pointed out how, we had such polar images of black men. They showed men on film from color, living color, where, it was kind of a skit on gay men, you know what I'm saying? And then they also showed a clip of New Jack City when Nino Brown about to kill. Oh God. He's about to kill his brother because he was his brother's keeper. Okay. But he was keeping that crack pipe too. So he had to go. But I digress. Okay. So he said he just wanted to show, a man, a fun-loving man that wanted to have a great family and a great relationship with his son. He wanted to show that. That's kind of like the middle ground between Men on Film and New Jack City. So with doing so, he also wanted to touch on a lot of things like racism, police brutality. Like, he had a lot of things he was trying to cover in this animated movie. And mind you, Goofy is considered to be, a goofball, kind of slow, just really not the brightest crayon in the box, if you will. No pun intended. But there was also, now, Kendall, y'all let me know. I haven't seen the Goofy movie like since I was a kid, and I really honestly don't remember it. I wish I knew. I should have watched it before I watched this episode, but of course that wouldn't have been no fun. But I honestly never thought of Goofy being black. Like, is it me? Like, am I slow? Because I guess Goofy wasn't really my favorites of the animated characters, so I never really looked at it that deep. And, they showed Goofy, eating watermelon or what have you. But I don't remember all that, okay? So let me know if you really thought of Goofy being black. Like, that just clearly went over my head, okay? I just never thought about race when it came to Goofy, all right? Even though, he was, darker skinned. But I don't know. So the execs were kind of getting wind like, oh, Tom is kind of making this movie kind of deep. Okay, we're talking about, this camping trip and this fishing trip that he's supposed to take with his son, Max. We have pictures of him going with his son, just on these little father and son trips, and how it's just really like some really deep points that he's trying to make. But the Caucasians was like, nah, son, like, you ain't about to do all that. Kendall said you never thought of that either, but this episode, yeah, it makes sense, but I'm like, I never, don't judge me, okay? And so, he was trying to do all the things, okay? And your boy Tom had something to prove, okay? We over there just doing all the hood jail poses, okay? He over there, he got hella people, hella celebrities in the office. We got, Sinbad, Brian McKnight. They said he had, and they was actually in the in the show giving commentary, which is furthering me like, okay, this is for real, okay? And so he was like, yeah, he used to have, Eddie Murphy up in there. And when they said he had Adina Howard in there, I'm like, okay, this got to be real, because that's a random ass name to be showing in the Disney CEO office. And he would say, they would like talk about how they're going to overthrow and take over the entertainment industry. I'm like, oh, this is fire. Like, yes, I love it. Yeah, some posters crack me up. Oh my God. And then gradually throughout the mockumentary, you would notice like he literally was kind of low-key turning into Goofy. Like his eyes was getting crossed and cocked. The way his fades were kind of shaped and the way he would make his face. I'm like, oh, this is little creepy here, okay? Yes, Kendall, Janet Jackson too. Yeah, all the people, okay, all the A-listers, all right? And so they also mentioned like they had some white animators, giving their accounts of him as, a CEO. And one of the guys said, I was drawing so much, my hands started bleeding. So I went to talk to Thomas, and, there was all the black people in there, and I'm white over there. And he was like, who ordered the white rice? And y'all, I'm still not getting it. I'm still not getting that this is all fake. Because I'm like, who will make this up? You had these white actors over here. Now I'm like, okay, these white actors, but I'm thinking these real people. Like, well, they are real people, you know what I mean? But I'm thinking these are real accounts, okay? So, he gets to a point where obviously this movie starts to take over his life. And he started to feel himself a little bit because he was over there cheating. His wife was like, yeah, he was smelling his drawers, okay? He was fooling around, okay? Fooling fooling around. I don't know when the phrase fooling around just cracks me up, okay? And so he also had a situation where it looks like it was getting physical between him and a wife, and then he almost got physical with the son, and the son just really is feeling away. So it's a lot, okay? So she decides to leave him. He, just doing all the things. He bringing blickies to the office, telling his other black coworker that he promoted. Well, I won't say coworker, but his employee, like, hey, I got this gun over here because I want them to never forget who the F I am. Okay. I'm just like, oh, he going there. And they also started saying he was over there and he done hired the brothers, okay? He done hired Muslim bodyguards, okay? They kind of seem like and implying that he was over there talking to the Bloods and Crips for protection, and he was like beefing up the movie. Like, I'm like, this is a lot. This man is doing a whole lot, okay? Oh my God. When the animator did that goofy laugh, because he was over there doing all the things, doing all of the things. They even show him, in the little office situation when he was trying to explain to, the white animators, like, you need to really know how to emulate black people. Like, he was in this picture, he was like, look at the knees, look how I'm dancing. Like, y'all got to make sure the daps is right. Y'all got to understand how we really are. And then while he's teaching them, we see this Caucasian fella in crutches, and I'm like, oh, he upset, so he leaving. But no, apparently he was doing research and was with the black people at the cookout and said some effed up ish apparently, and got us behind whooped. So he was really dedicated, okay? And Thomas was like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Real dedication. He over there and got us behind whooped because he was trying to learn how to understand the black folk. I'm still not realizing this is fake, y'all. I'm still not realizing it. Oh my God. So we see Sinbad, and I know he had a stroke like a year or two ago, so it was good to see Sinbad. I was happy. See, I got a little sad because you could tell, the paralysis in his face a little bit. But I was like, oh, I'm glad he seemed to be in decent spirits. We got Brian McKnight over here. I ain't seen him since he went a little buck wild a few years ago on social media when he was on a piano. I don't know if y'all remember, but he was on a piano and he was kind of like ad-libbing us. I don't know if it was a real song that he actually recorded, but he was talking about putting the P in the face. Like, it was pretty graphic. I'm like, oh, Brian McKnight, like, what happened to the love songs? You just going straight in like these new fellas. All right. Okay, Brian, you got a little freak in you. I ain't mad. But yeah, y'all, it was a lot, okay? He even, like, Thomas even wanted to end the Goofy movie with Max and Goofy getting pulled over by a cop. And y'all see he's actually a pig. And he wanted them to pretty much get shot. And I'm like, okay. That would have been hella interesting and depressing in the movie theater with your kids, okay? That's a story for the ass, all right? But apparently the white folk done got tired of him and decided to start working on the movie behind his back. And they had an alternate ending that they allowed him to view, which, incorporated Bigfoot. But he started to really deal with some depression, and there was apparently this tape of this footage of him talking to himself drunk, y'all. Let me get a drink of water, my bad. And, he was saying, like, he got to see this movie through. He got to see this movie through because they done fired this man. And they offered him a lot of bread. Like, I think it was, what, 75 million? I was like, I mean, I know we're trying to make a point now with this movie, but 75 million? I would have been like, I don't even need my stuff. Just give me my car keys. Like, I'm out of here. Goodbye. So the interviewers asking the people that's being interviewed, like, so do you think his death was an accident? I was like, oh, here we go. So the white animator was like, no, not after the footage. And we talk about this footage that we see here on the screen. And so apparently Thomas' vehicle was found in the lake. All right. The same lake that he used to take his son fishing. And his body was never found. Okay. but we see glove and the shoe. And I'm like, oh my God. It took me this long to realize they was playing in our face. And I still was halfway believing it was true. I was like, oh my God, like y'all playing with us. Y'all playing, but they did a great job with this. Like, I was tuned the F in, okay? I was tuned in, okay? Your girl didn't even want to blink good, all right? Kendall, you said, I like seeing how they got Tevin Campbell on the side. Yes, yes. And I started to remember, I was like, oh yeah, Tevin Campbell was a part. Something about that, Can We Talk? Like, we got a lot of great music in our history, but Can We Talk is just in one of those, it's in the group where it would never ever get old. Like, I'll probably be 80 if I'm willing, Lord willing, if you bless me to live to see 80. I'ma still be jamming and Can We Talk? Like, it's not a lot of songs that just have that lifespan. Like, come on, Can We Talk? That's gonna never get old. Yes, Kendall, the baby said 75K. Oh, okay. We known to exaggerate too. So we was really like exaggerating down. Okay. Or, they could have been lying too now. I don't know. 75 million seemed kind of steep, especially back then in the 90s. But we don't know what the accounts was looking like, okay? But I can't see them offering a whole 75 mil to one of us. Because they definitely don't want us to be having that type of account around here. Because he could have very much well started his own situation and released his old school movies. He could have been the next Spike Lee, if you tell me. 75 million? Come on. Give me my money. All right. Yeah, the glove was a bit much, Kendall. That's I guess for people like me who just apparently slow on Thursday nights, because I didn't realize this whole thing was a whole mockumentary situation. Okay. But it was a good story nonetheless. I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna give this an A, because the amount of thought, because they did enter in, and include some real facts. They kind of weave some things together. So I appreciated that. So I'm gonna give it an A. Let me know in the chat which I'll give it, as well as in the comments if y'all watching the replay. Let me know what y'all rate episode 8, the group that sat by the door. Okay. So make sure y'all liking this video, okay? And subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Make sure you're sharing this video, and make sure your notification bells are always on, because your girl is always keeping y'all informed and updated. And sometimes I like to surprise y'all with some lives and whatnot, okay? All right, let's get it. Episode 9, all right? Now, this was pretty good. I appreciate it more when I watched it the second time. I ain't gonna lie. But let's get into it, okay? Andrew Wyeth, okay? Alfred's World, all right? You give it an A, Kendall? Yeah, we on the same page. So this episode was pretty much based on Paperboy, aka Alfred, okay? Because we in the woods too. I'm like, what is it? Are they trying to like symbolize that Black people need to go to the woods to get their mind right? And this is what we promoting. Let us sister know. Are we gonna be up in Dick's Sporting Goods and REI's buying up all the camping gear? Like, is this what we doing? The great migration back into, what I'm saying, the South and the deep woods? Like, let us sister know what we trying to promote here. Okay, because I can't do it. I can't do it. Give me a good suburb, but the woods, that's a no for me, okay? But we have Paperboy over here, okay? He's been going through a lot, okay? Up and down roller coaster in this whole career of his. Like, he's kind of in a weird space, I would say, okay? He's had success, but not saying he can't handle it, but he's trying to figure out his next move, his next step, okay? So he's in the woods. We over there got target practice. We listen to Mystical, okay? We having a little fun up in here, okay? Earn calls. Don't y'all hate if y'all playing something or watching something on your phone and somebody call and kind of mess up your whole vibe? Like, is it me? I'm like, dang, why you got the call right now? I don't really want to deal with this. I'm trying to jam, okay? Let me be in the car jamming to my song, because you got the Bluetooth situation in the car, and if the phone the car start ringing, I'm like, And I ain't gonna hold you, depending on who it is. I might have to call you back, okay? But he's ignoring Ern's calls. I'm like, all right, Pippa boy, you're in the woods now. I don't know if it's smart to be ignoring folk calls, because if I have somebody, a close relative I know in a sabbatical in the woods, I'm gonna be checking up on them. Okay, I'm the person in the family that checks on people, because you never know. All right. So I would have been worried sick, because I have a worrying grandma spirit. All right. He over there, he got a whole little safe house situation. And he also got a little greenhouse situation. This man over here growing the marijuana. All right. And I'm like, okay, how long you been here? How long you been here? These plants look kind of grown, like lettuces to know. Kendall, you said Paperboy was at his safe farm. Yes, that's what your boy talked about. Yeah, he told him to get a safe farm, okay, because that what was the name of that killer? Oh gosh. You just hit ignore. It depends on a person, because sometimes you can tell when you being ignored. So I'm trying to be polite to the person. I'm gonna just let the phone ring. I ain't trying to hurt their feelings. But if I don't care, if they don't realize the trick, I have to hit ignore. Okay. Sorry for y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. So he notices a little hole, in his little, greenhouse, I would call it. All right. And so he goes to the town store, and, he kind of asks, hey, do we got, some things for this? Okay. Because I need help. And he over there just trying to get basic things like, a little frying pan. Like he's really trying to, get all the things. He had the nerve to ask his man if we had animal repellent. I'm like, can you be a little specific? Animal repellent? Like, what animals, bruh? Like, clearly he don't look like belong. They got Confederate flags. They got little signs talking about we don't call the police. And you know what that means. They handle stuff on their own. So you really don't want to be around there. But I'm like, all right, paper boy, we over here. We experiment. We doing the things, all right? So they didn't have the little frying pan in stock that he wanted. And so he was like, you want me to order it for you, sir? He was like, nah, I'm finding somewhere else. He was like, you gonna go on Amazon, ain't you? Not Amazon. I'm like, oh, that is hilarious. Okay. And so he, was trying to like, all right, I think I am going to Amazon. So he's over there. He sees his tractor in the woods. He has a whole situation where he's trying to get it to work because it's not working. He on YouTube. And the YouTuber that's giving him instructions on how to work on this trailer, he was like, you got to be careful because these backhoes ain't loyal. I'm like, not a Chris Brown reference, not the backhoes ain't loyal. And right after he said that, he was like, oh, shoot, let me go ahead and get from under this trailer, this tractor trailer situation. And so, not tractor trailer, y'all know what I mean. But as soon as he gets out, it kind of like stumbles and kind of just goes down a little bit. He almost, has life saved via YouTube. Okay, thank you, YouTube. All right. And so he's going to the town store trying to get supplies. And then he notices a rat in a little piece of it. And I'm even surprised I'm grown enough and mature enough to even take the picture and show it, y'all, because that was nasty. Okay. And he did it with his bare hands. Bruh, if you don't get a leaf or something, like, it was too much. It was too much. Like, you would never catch me touching a tail with my bare hands of a dead rat. I mean, just rat in general, because I don't want to specify if it was alive, I wouldn't do it either. But that was a lot. And you could tell he had that this nasty energy. Like, cause when he dropped it, he was like, ugh. I know he took him a good little shower after that, because that was nasty. Okay. I wouldn't be able to eat nothing. I'll be scrubbing the hell out of my hands like it's COVID 18.0 up in here, because that's gross. All right. Yes, it was nasty. Kendall. So, he gets it, going. And once he does, I mean, he's having the time of his life, y'all. He's woohooing. He whipping that thing like an old school. He's it's so much at peace and just loving it right now. He's just really loving it. And so he rides around, and apparently he gets stuck in a situation where it's kind of like not a ditch, but kind of like a mini cliff. And so he can't go nowhere in the tractor trailer. He tries to go underneath, and he ends up getting his legs stuck. and it F's up his leg, okay? And they got this man crawling back to his little cabin, what have you. And then we see Amazon, and they delivering something for him. So he's trying to get the Amazon person attention, and she ain't paying him no mind. She can't see him. He's too far away. And she has her headphones on. And that's the thing, like, regardless of where I am, I'm always going to have it either on low or one ear. I got to be able to hear what's going on around me. Like, it's too crazy out here in these streets, all right? But, he didn't get no help from her. He finally makes it. Finally makes it back to his cabin, and he sees the feral hogs that's been messing up his greenhouse that the clerk warned him about, because he told him that a woman got killed by a pack of feral hogs, and Paperboy was playing it off and laughing. Kiki, oh, hogs, like he thinking some regular Porky the Pigs. And no, I never heard of this. Like, this is disgusting, okay? And his leg is effed up, and he gets the frying pan, because apparently the frying pan was, delivered. So they started attacking your boy, okay? And he had that ain't no damn puppy energy with that hog. Like, he was banging it out like it was a full-on fight, but he won, okay? Paperboy 1, Feral Hog 0. Did you catch him leaning? What? Yes, that gangster lean was fire, okay? And so that was pretty much the episode. Aaron called, he answered the phone. It was cool. Saying it was, chopping it up, having a good little conversation. But it seemed like he just wanted some time apart, y'all. I was trying to just rush through that a little bit because it's about to be 10 o'clock. And I'm not going to watch Atlanta right now. I'm going to catch the replay because I'm going to let my DVR record it while I do a couple things. But put your rating for this episode in the chat. If you're watching the replay, I'm going to give it a B+. Let me know what you think in the chat. And yes, you're watching Atlanta recap review. That's about to be done. All right. Catch me on Sunday on the 13th. I'm doing a Dead Presidents movie review at 6 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So please be there. Okay. Kendall, you said when he beat that hog with the cast iron skillet, yes, it was definitely giving me Martin, that ain't no damn puppy energy. Like, it was fire. Yes, A. Yes, Kendall. Yeah, he was yes, I did. And he was cooking bacon. I'm like, oh, he's playing in their face. He was cooking bacon. I'm just saying that was kind of fire, okay? And he had the sorry, y'all. He had a box of intimate donuts in the trash too. I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely my retreat treat if I got to go somewhere it's sabbatical, okay? Them donuts is so fire. Like, yeah, it's a lot, y'all. But thank you for coming through. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like this video, subscribe, do all the things for your girl. Have fun with the finale. I'll be trying to recap that in the next couple of days. But thank you for riding this ride with me through Atlanta. And I will see you guys shortly. Toodles.